Hi everyone. So I'm just stopping by with a quick video tonight to share this card project that I made using the Greeting Farms Cheeky Girly Girls stamp set. This is a stamp set that was released in July of this year and it sold out pretty quickly, but I was able to find the set at Simon Says Stamp. So I've been looking for this stamp set since July, since it sold out. I also missed, I think there were 2 reorders for the stamp set and I missed them, but luckily enough, I was just looking around Simon Says Stamp's website and I found it and snatched it up right away. And right before I started to do the voiceover for this video, I checked at Simon Says Stamp and that stamp set is available. And there are basically 8 girly girls in the stamp set. So this is one of the 8. I'll show you another few at the end of the video that I also colored in. So if you are interested in these ladies, then you should still be able to find them at Simon Says Stamp if you act quickly after this video posts. So the name of the set is Cheeky Girly Girls by the Greeting Farm. Okay, so now let's get into what I'm doing here with the coloring. So all of that coloring on an angle in the background was meant to make it look like she's standing in the middle of a spotlight. So I just used some of my favorite blues to kind of get that effect. And I just put some Post-it paper on the bottom because that's where the ground is going to be and we don't need the effect to continue into the ground area. So now I'm going to take the mask off of our pretty little girly girl and we're going to color her in. And I just had so much fun coloring her in as well as the other girly girls I'll show you at the end. So I'm just using some E00 for her skin tone and then E13 for little shadows underneath her hair and under her chin. And I think that was some R20 that I used for the blush on her cheeks, which I put like right on the sides of her eyes and under her eyes. And we're going to add some makeup for her a little bit later on. Some of the skin tone combinations that I used for the other girly girls I'll show you, I tried using my B50. So for one girly girl, I used B50 to 53 for her skin. For another one, I tried a base of E01 and she's going to look a little more pink than the other ladies. This part here, I'm just adding some makeup. I had so much fun doing that. So I just used some BGs for the eyeshadow there. And now we need to make our girly girl into a blonde. And this pose reminds me so much of that Marilyn Monroe pose where she's standing on the subway grate that I thought it would be fun to just make a little Marilyn. And I've been struggling with finding the perfect combination for blonde hair, especially like a platinum blonde. But this stamp really inspired me to figure it out. So the colors that I'm using to create the blonde are some E50. So I started with E51 and then added a little E53. And now our darkest shade is right here. It's the E55. And I'm just going to add a little more E51. And then I thought she needed a little yellow. So I added in some YR30 and then very, very little Y21. I think it would have worked with or without the Y21. You can let me know if you liked how it looked before when it was more platinum or if you prefer the more yellow tones that we get with how it looks now. And then I gave her a little red dress. So Marilyn in the subway grate photo is wearing a white dress, but I thought the red would really pop against this blue background. So I decided to give our little lady a red dress. And then I'm just going to darken up the eyelashes with my 100 Copic marker and then also around the eyes as well, leaving that little white spot in the middle for the glow. And at this point, I thought that it looked too blue. So I want to kind of tone things down a little bit. So to do so, I'm going to go over the background with my gray markers, and the darkness of the gray that I'm using is going to correspond to how dark the blue is. So for those areas along the bottom, I need to use my really dark grays like my C7 and my C6. And then for the center area, I'll go over that with my lighter colors. I think I do that. Yes, so my C4, I'm just going around the area of our feet just to preserve a little bit of a shine underneath our feet. And then we're going to do the same thing for the background. We're going to take some cool grays and just color over the blue there. So I'm using my C3. I think that's going to be the lightest shade that I use. And then my C5 is going to be one of the darker colors. I don't remember yet if I use a C7 in the area above the ground. We'll have to watch together and find out. And then a little bit of C1 around her head. And at this point, I got a little streak in that left-hand corner that I couldn't quite get rid of. So I decided to just splatter the whole background with some liquid Stardust by Lawn Fawn and then some white gouache as well. So we'll do that in a second. But I'm just going to work a little bit more to try to clear up that streak in the lower left-hand corner. And then we'll move on and we'll kind of sprinkle some dots all over the page. So that's one thing you can do. So if you ever end up with a background or some coloring that you're not crazy about, just put some splatters all over everything. It will tie everything together. It'll hide the imperfections in your coloring and it'll just be a fun look. So that's what I did with this little lady. So I also added some sparkle to her dress with the liquid Stardust by Lawn Fawn. And then I did dry this with my heat gun before peeling off the tape. Now we're going to add a sentiment, and given that the background is so sparkly, I thought the Let's Glitter stamp sentiment that comes with the stamp set would work well here. And then I also stamped some little stars from the stamp set. And then I just heat embossed the white embossing powder. And then we're going to add everything to an A2 size card base, and that is the first card that I made with this adorable little cheeky girly girl stamp set by the Greeting Farm. And here are 4 other girly girls that I colored in. I'd love to hear from you in the comments which one is your favorite. I think my favorite is probably number 4, the little Christmas girly girl. I just love that little holly in her hair and the red dress. So thanks so much for joining me tonight, everyone. I hope you have a great weekend, and I will see you again soon in the next video.